I'll mostly open it up for questions, but obviously it's a big week for our program. We haven't had as long as I've been here, which hasn't been very long, but we haven't had Oklahoma State at Hilton. So just because of the rotation of the schedule. So we get, one of the most storied programs of one of the best coaches that'll ever go down in the history of college wrestling coming to our place Sunday afternoon. And that's real exciting. Hopefully it's exciting for 10 guys, because 10 guys get to carry the program on their shoulder and wrestle in a great event like this. We've got our work cut out for us. Oklahoma State's wrestling great right now. I think they're kind of getting close to putting their lineup together, and they're pretty healthy. And so, it's just a great opportunity.
Going back to this last weekend first a little bit against South Dakota State, David Carr, did he get gassed at the end of that match, or did he tweak something? What happened there?
David got tired.
Okay.
Tired, tired. But I'm giving him credit in that he went out really hard to get bonus points and just got tired at the very end. And I think anybody that's ever wrestled at a high level has probably experienced that. Now on David is to make sure that he's doing the things so he feels the very best at the end. And so one thing we talked about that David can do a lot to improve is just his pre-match preparation, his nutrition throughout the week. And sometimes kids come in, and different kind of kid this day and age. Kids they like to sometimes eat candy and fast food and stuff like that probably works for most sports, but it doesn't work for our sport in a 1 hour weigh-in. You really have to be a scientist and understand that those little things really make a difference in late matches. And that's okay when you're in that match and you're winning by 13 trying to get to 15, but if you're in the semifinals of the NCAA tournament, that last minute's pretty important, and obviously he didn't feel good the last 2 minutes. But I give him credit for going out, and we do need more guys like him that'll go out and just throw it out there and just try to get bonus points for the team. And if we're going to have a good weekend against Oklahoma State, we've got to have that mentality.
And then stay with the injury or whatever realm. Jarrett Dagan, you said last week was 50-50 for Oklahoma State. Do you know where he's at?
Yeah, we're going to weigh in Jarrett against Oklahoma State. Let's hope we have a good week. He's back scrapping, so let's just hope he has a good week. But we're going to weigh him in, and if we have a good week, we got some good scraps lined up for this week. It's only Monday, and we don't wrestle till Sunday, so we've got a chance to train a little bit this week. So we'll see how he progresses.
If he does wrestle, he gets a really quality guy in Boo. I think they wrestled last year or 2 years ago. What do you remember about that match, and what does he have to do to get over it? Because I think, if I remember right, Boo had an injury default, and that's how Jarrett won.
Yeah, last year we wrestled him at Oklahoma State, and it was a good match. I think we were losing close, and whatever injury he had last year, I think it might have been a shoulder as well, popped out, and so that was the end of his season. Year before, I think Jarrett lost a real close one. So those two guys do have some history. So you got two guys right now that are ranked in the top 10. So it's going to be a barn burner.
And then Sam has had some pretty good tests so far at 174. He gets another one this weekend in John Smith. Joe Smith.
Joe Smith, yeah.
Thank you. John's dad, obviously. Joe Smith, what do you want to see from Sam in that match?
I'm not sure. They've kind of wrestled a different guy there, but
okay.
I think they've either got Shomers or Joe. I'm not sure which one's going. They're both going to be tough. Sam's got to keep progressing too, and doing a good job with the nutrition side of things. So 1 hour weigh-in, again, I talk about that a lot, but that's big. People that don't understand the sport say, well, why did this guy not win or not do so good? Well, that 1 hour weigh-in is a big component in our sport, and that's a little thing that's a big thing. And when Sam Colbray feels good, I think Sam Colbray is right there in the top 2 of anybody in the nation. If he doesn't, he's in the he's down in the 40s. So got to feel good.
What does he have to do to feel good? Like we've mentioned nutritioning and the midweek stuff, getting prepared right. What goes into that? What does he have to do to make sure he feels good?
Well, it's just not Sam, and that's probably the struggle with this team a little bit. Is that I always say to be good, you have to be tough and you have to be talented. Okay, we have a lot of talent right now, and part of toughness is doing the things that are tough, and so that means maybe getting those extra workouts in on your own, or pushing the plate away, and understanding where you need to live each day of your life on the scale. Very few sports have that component, but wrestling does. And if you don't do that right, and it's not just him, you can't be your best. And so you have to marry those details, and that's a hard marriage, it really is. And unfortunately, with this day and age of kids, is they don't want to be, they want to be coachable when it's convenient and they feel good. They don't want to be coachable when they don't feel good, right? It's different. I'm an old guy now, and so when I was going through, if coach said to do this, you did it, and it was hard and it was painful, but you didn't question it. And it's not picking on Sam, or it's not picking. It's just the kids. It's the culture. It's tougher coaching than it was 30 years ago, because 30 years ago, if the coach said this and called you out publicly, and it was on you, it was on you. So ultimately, we got 10 guys that that it's going to be on Sunday, and you can coach speak afterwards, and if you don't do well, you can take the blame as a coach. But I'm a little bit more old school, and you put it on the guys, and that's not a popular thing. But I think that's how you grow up, and I think that's how you get tough, and you take responsibility for it. And so, not just Sam, but everybody's got to understand on this team right now that we're a pretty talented team, but I don't know how tough we are when we're away from the room. And tough means making all those right choices that all the other college kids at Iowa State can make, but you can't make. You have to make a different choice. And so that's what I mean by tough. It's not necessarily always doing push-ups and pull-ups and running and conditioning. It's making those tough choices so you set yourself up to be really, really good, and then you beat that top 10th ranked guy in the nation from Oklahoma State in Hilton Coliseum with 30 seconds to go. Everything you do all week long gives you a chance to do that or not do that. And that's the part that this generation wants to, they want all that success. They want to read about themselves on Twitter. They want all that, but then when they don't do it, you call them out on it, you're the bad guy. Well, guess what? I don't mind being the bad guy, because we need to understand that we got to put it on us. So I'm not going to get up here Sunday unless there's something blatantly my fault. I'm not going to get up here Sunday and say, you know what, we got beat, and it's on me as a coach. It ain't on me as a coach. It's on 10 guys. I was a wrestler once too, and you know what? When we lost, this guy named Gable and this guy named Jay Robinson, you didn't hear him get up in one press conference and say, you know what, it's my fault the team got beat. You know what? They put it on us. They put it on us to the point that when you walked off the mat and you didn't do a good job, you could expect another workout within 45 minutes of that duel meet being over. And you didn't question it. And you didn't, it's just the way it was. And we need to have a little bit more of that. Sorry, that was a rant.
No, that was just fine. With this day and age of kids, how do you coach that? Because you obviously can't babysit them. How do you get them to do those tough things like pushing that plate away or getting the extra workout and that sort of thing? How do you make sure they do that?
I just think it comes down to really how bad they want to be successful. I think, it's easy to say you want to win, you want to wrestle at Hilton, but do you really? Show me you want to do that. And that shows by everything you do. We're with them on average, with the exception of one day a week, we're with them about 3 hours a day, maybe 4 hours a day. So there's a lot. There's 21 hours a day or 20 hours a day, whatever, that they are on their own to make choices that are going to either help them or hurt them on Sunday. So I always say, in order to do something that you're not supposed to do, right? On paper, we're not supposed to beat Oklahoma State. Can we beat Oklahoma State? Yeah, but the only way we're going to do that is we got to really, really want to beat them bad. And that will hopefully force these 10 guys especially, and the guys supporting them, to do the right things all week long and set themselves up for success. So when it gets tough, because it's going to get tough the last period, when it gets tough, are you feel good enough, and are you tough enough to finish that match off and get your hand raised? So that's on 10 guys. We can as coaches, we can get up here and say, oh, you know what, if we wrestled really hard today, and this one's on me. That's crap. It's on 10 guys.
Anything else, guys?